Rise, my son. Rise. Rise, my son. Rise.
Testing 333. What? testing 333. Okay. Good morning. 4:20 a.m. to you. 4:20 a.m. to you, my friend. Did you, my philosopher? Oh, good philosophy. Bah. Speaking of, did you take a squeeze from the Philosopher's Stone? I may have. Oh, gross. No, what? Nothing. Oh, the burpees, kid. What are you going to do? A little cranberry lime seltzer at 4:20, now 4:21 a.m. The Brahmamutra. Or Murta? Brahmamutra. How do you say that? I don't know. Brahma Muhurta. Yeah. It's a great time in the morning. Of clarity. Not quite of light. I was going to say, not quite of light, but in some ways, 1 minute in, the time. It's almost like the most light on the meta level. I see. Oh, okay. You know, it's dark outside and stuff. We were outside. We were, or at least I was, and under the stars. Interesting star pattern in the sky. Yeah, I haven't seen that pattern in a while. Almost looked like a big arrow. 3 stars aligned and then a point and the whole thing. So what are we talking about today? Well, you have a choice, my friend. Okay. I feel like you've already made the choice. I may have, but I'm going to give you a choice. I'm going to give the viewer a choice. Are you? We can choose. I feel like the viewer is already seeing through this. What do you mean? Well, because obviously the choice has been made. No, I'm going to give the viewer a choice. This is impossible, is it? I'm going to give him a choice between continuing the Sun Was Meant to Rise series with Mary Magdalene, or that we're going to continue the Mary Magdalene talk, or a new one about the game of life. Really? Yeah, where we break down the fact that this is all one big fucking game, and I prove it. Bring evidence. Really? That's interesting. It is. And essentially, once we go down that path, I warn the viewer, they'll never look at life the same way again. I guarantee it. Make your choice. I mean, I think the choice has already been made. You stuttered. I did. It has. And the viewer should know, because we're putting, obviously you clicked on this. There's a photo. There's a title. So we ended up not doing the game. I knew it. You shithead. Yeah, we did our girl. Hey, girl. Hey, Kendra. Oh, come on. You finally realized who she looks like. Yeah. Oh, God, don't go there. Yeah, it's funny on so many levels. I'll leave that there. I don't want to lust for this woman. Oh, God. Oh, Mary, how dare I? How dare I go there? But it's them eyes. So we're going to continue the story of Mary Magdalene. And it's interesting because I don't know even know what episode this is. Well, let me see. I mean, we did, I believe we did, let me look at it real quick. How many episodes did we do? Oh, this is 6. This is 6. Interesting. Episode 6. Our favorite episode is Star Wars. Yes. Return of the Jedi. And this Jedi is going to allow this sort of, don't go there, princess to rise. Not that we have to make her rise, but I think history will see it in her eyes. She's just as important as Jesus Christ. Anyone? No? You'll see. That if you believe that, oh, the throat, sorry, kid. If you believe that Jesus Christ, and some do believe what? Oh, that he was the reincarnation of Adam. And we talk about it in a number of our audio poems, especially on the triple anthology, Enigma. We talk about the story of Adam and Eve, the eternal love story. The complicated eternal love story that keeps repeating time after time after time. And we talk about in this pod series how Adam is the blueprint for man, including Jesus. He is not, he is included in that. He is not left off that list of men. And we talk about it. I think it was 4 and 5. I don't remember. Well, this one here, this beautiful lady, whether she looked like this or not, you can say she is either, oh, there's a choice, yes, Eve part 2, or she's Lilith. Who's Lilith? Well, according to Jewish mythology, Lilith was Adam's wife before Eve. Oh, Adam was divorced? Yeah, I guess he was. Just like us, kid. Unlike Jesus, who had one love of his life. We leave that there, right? My Gnostic friends. And it's funny how we said, man, if this one woman could tell her story, and we could know the story of Mary Magdalene the way it was supposed to be told, or at the very least as close to real as possible. Because remember, my friend, when you're telling history or recounting history, you're talking about his story. But what about her story? Her story. Well, if we think that Jesus was Adam, we do. Well, then Mary was Lilith, not Eve. Because the Gnostics would tell you, as it says here, over the centuries, she also became known as a Succubus demon who copulated with men during their sleep and strangled newborn baby. Oh, Lord. I don't know about that part. What does Succubus mean? I don't know. Let's find out. Google says a female demon, or succubi, a female demon in European folklore. You got to love that folklore, right? Nevermore. That appears, what? Nothing. That appears in dreams to seduce men, often draining their energy or life force. Always those pesky women seducing men. It's never the other way around. Right, Jeffrey? Typically depicted as a stunningly beautiful woman. That's the way she gets them, right? Can't see through the artifice. The mask. The costume. Sometimes it's subtle demonic features like wings or hooves. Oh my God. She acts as a supernatural seductress, designing to, because women, tell them, Mary, are just, seductresses and demons and tempting with their pussy, right? Oh, kid. I mean, if you're going to go there. Or they're God. Oh, I'm sorry, goddesses. It's one or the other. Man takes something he doesn't understand and elevates it on a pedestal. Or he tries to bury her into the fucking ground. God forbid. God is forbidden. Hey, guys. Hi. You are silent for yes. Tell my story, but be careful and gentle on it. Yeah, we will, my lady. He buries her under his feet because if he puts her side by side as an equal, even he realizes that he is not. She can create life. She's wise. She controls. I mean, think about the control of a demon, a succubus demon who copulate. Come on. The legend of Lilith has its roots in the biblical book of Genesis from the very beginning. where two contradictory versions of creation eventually lead to the concept of a first Eve. In other words, if man is the axe planting the flag in the ground, I am man. I think, therefore I am type of thing. Right, Descartes? I am man. Well, I am woman, hear me roar, 10-10 in. Because man needs a playing partner. And either you will lead and I will follow, or, well, ... What should it be, men? What is she going to do? If she's the second character in the play, are you the playwright? Are you the one that kind of, I don't know where you're going here. You'll see. Is she going to be like God, the foil? You can't take, I feel like you're going off on a tangent here. You'll see where I'm going here. Oh, he's doing great. Thanks, my lady. He can't know himself unless he has a mirror. So woman is a mirror. And then where she fails or where he fails, he puts God, or vice versa. She's interchangeable with God to explain all the things, all the inadequacies, all the failures. Keep going, kids. Thanks. All the trials and tribulations. There's better words. There are. Man puts God or woman in that blank space to help explain what he cannot explain. And he just doesn't get woman at all. Nailed it. And she gets man because he's easy to figure out. Right, Jesus? It's pretty simple. It's a formula. X plus Y equals Z. And she gets it. She could put herself at any of those integers. He can't. He's always stuck at X. That's man. And in the Bible, I don't know where you're going here. You'll see. Man created, here man is created first and placed in the Garden of Eden to tend it. When God sees that he is lonely, all the animals are made as possible companions for him. Give him some pets. Finally, the first woman, Eve, is created after Adam rejects all the animals as partners. Oh, kid, yeah. He's like, yeah, I don't want to bang these pets. It's got to be something else to play with. Hence, in this account, man is created first and woman is created last. These obvious contradictions present a problem for ancient rabbis who believed that the Torah was the written word of God, and therefore it could not contradict itself. In other words, even they realized the formula doesn't work, like we did. Because I didn't realize about the Gnostic texts. I didn't know of a Lilith, but we kind of did. I didn't remember. Because there was the Lilith Fair. And we'll get to that in a second. Right, my lady? Hey, girl. They therefore interpreted Genesis 1 so that it did not contradict Genesis 2. Oh, there was a sequel, I guess. Which one was better? Who knows? Yeah, Godfather 1 and 2. Coming up with such ideas as the androgyny, the first Eve in the process. According to the theory of a first Eve, Genesis 1 refers to Adam's first wife, while Genesis 2 refers to Eve, who was Adam's second wife. Even he had to do it a second time to get it right. Eventually, this idea of a first Eve was combined with the legends of female Lilu demons, or Lilith, who were believed to stalk men in their sleep and prey upon women and children. However, the only explicit reference to a Lilith in the Bible appears in Isaiah 34:14, which reads, "The wild cat shall meet with the jackals, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. Yea, Lilith." Yeah? No, not yet, kid. Or my lady. Shall repose there and find her place of rest. Essentially, this was a badass bitch. That if you put all of the best kind of, there's a better way of saying it, you need a female energy. And if you create the male energy first, strength and wisdom and you know, I won't even call it purity. What's the word we're looking for? Prudence. and all that stuff, then you have to create the antagonist if you believe woman's the antagonist. If you believe that this is Adam, you need the Eve, the darkness, right? Or the Lilith. Let's get on with this. Woman has been a complicated character from the very beginning. Even God couldn't figure that one out. Which way do I go here? Yeah, we'll make her Lilith when we bring her back. We'll make this one Eve in the beginning. But in the story of Jesus, who's kind of like Adam part 2, we want to make a female character more like Lilith because that makes more sense, but she can't be as important as Eve was in the first story. So we're going to kind of dumb this one down. Shall I sigh or shall you sigh, my lady? No, we could both sigh. Yep. And even Sarah McLachlan knew that. She must have known when she created the Lilith Fair, a celebration of women, the power of who this badass bitch was. She didn't need no man. She was the man. Whoa. Corny. And she was connected to God because she was the physical manifestation of God. If you take all her powers, all her abilities, her role in antagonizing man, because you think about God in the book of Genesis. You think about God in the Old Testament. God is a dick. And well, speaking of dicks, she was a tease. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay. In other words, from the male's perspective, when you don't understand who this is, she's a bitch. She's a tease. She's everything on the negative. She's something of a demon because of the powers that she's able to, the spell she could cast on the man. 1717 in all the time. That man can't cast on her. Who has the power if you're casting spells? Has an otherworldly... I think you need to get to the point. Woman is, whether you believe man or not, more than a goddess. It's God. That's the way that's the way we've treated women our entire life. And we've had a complicated relationship. You either love or hate woman. There is no in between. Well, for us, they're either catalysts for love or impediments to it. There's no in between. Well, isn't that what we are too? Yes, but we don't realize that because we're man. We don't see ourselves in the world around us. We see the world around us in ourselves. And the fact that the woman makes us do shit and God makes us do shit. We don't make ourselves do the shit. 18 in. Oh, kid, enough of the time. Sorry. We take it out of ourselves and plant the authority, the agency when it's something bad on something else. That's what man does. And you see it in the Bible constantly, blaming God or attributing it to God, right, Abraham? God told me to do it, so I did it. Sorry, kid. Got to lose you. What was that? A little switchblade. And women have been kind of like the target of man's frustration since the beginning of time. And that's why they had to have their own little festival, kind of celebrate their energy, their power, and kind of leave man behind. Well, weren't some of the men on the stage it must have been interesting to be a man on stage at the Lilith Fair. We went to a Lilith Fair. We did. I think it was 97. I think it was 97, 98. I don't remember. In just outside of Hartford, Connecticut. It's pretty damn cool. Oh, it was excellent. What an energy. Looked kind of like this, a little amphitheater with, it was awesome. Badass concert. And this is a badass bitch. I say that with respect and love. Sarah McLachlan's an amazing, amazing singer. Oh, is she coming to us soon? Look at that, July 8th, right before our birthday. She's going to, no kidding. I'd love to see her. She's excellent. And when you're building a mystery, oh, kid, I got to be careful here because, YouTube, if I put these lyrics or whatever, if I say any of them, man looked at woman as a fucked up demon, and woman looked at man as a beautiful fucked up man. Right, my lady? I'm tingling. The dark side's light and the vampire's room. I won't even read any more of this because I don't want to get struck. But this song stuck out on the album Surfacing, which we used to play on a loop in our little tiny apartment in college. So much so that the other women were very, they were very impressed that we knew the lyrics and the meanings behind songs like Adia and Angel, and how we connected some of the songs where, I believe, which song was it? I forget off the top of my head, where Adia is like just a slowed up version of another song. It's interesting. But the power behind this one always stuck out for me somehow. Because I felt like this was me. This felt like me. This felt like me. Now more than ever, it feels like me. Thank you, my lady. Sometimes artists channel things that at the time they realize encompasses what they're going through at the time. She is quoted as, and we saw a little video, it's a kind of compilation, a quilt, so to speak, of the men she was meeting when she was out in the wilderness in Canada, and meeting all these like interesting men, and she's trying to figure out what's behind the mask. Because men have to put on a mask because she is as authentic as she can be. Man always has to kind of, try to be something else to impress her. And they put on masks when they meet women. They can't be themselves. Right, ladies? And, well, neither could you. That's why you needed your own fair to kind of do your own thing. You didn't want the energy of man to get in the way. Right, my lady? Where's this going? Oh, you'll see. And I have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, in 97, she channeled something that maybe 30 years later, she would, or 31 years later, it would finally come to roost. That these lyrics would mean something on a larger scale for someone else sitting at a computer at 4:43 in the morning. Thank you, my lady. Gotta go. The Gnostics. This is interesting. We good? I'm confused. You won't be. You won't be. The Gnostics. These are interesting. Gnosis, knowledge. It's more than knowledge. It's kind of, I say, it's a letting in the light. And they have a different take on Mary Magdalene. And I didn't realize, I'm like, there's a gospel of Mary? I didn't realize that either. Found in the Berlin Gnostic Codex. Highlight her role as leader who comforts the others and receives secret revelations rather than as a prostitute. Nope, I wasn't a prostitute. You weren't. Nor were you a whore. Right, lady? Just because you have control over a man doesn't make you a demon. It makes you strong, and it makes him weak. That's his problem, not yours. And she's a premier apostle, a visionary, and the disciple closest to Jesus, often understanding his teachings better than the male disciples, because he was on a higher level, 24 in. He was on the Christ consciousness. We call that level 99. The one right before, well, the creator. Where woman hangs out. Right, my lady? Where the woman hangs out. When she wants to. Mary was the preferred disciple. She's portrayed as having a special bond with Jesus. Hey, yeah. Wink, wink. What are you saying? I'm leaving a blank space there. You got your finger up in the air. I'm not saying, just saying. He loved her more than the others and imparted hidden knowledge to her. They hung out together, right? What? Oh, that's from our song 33X, Diamond Eyes. That's also from our song. Oh, see it now? No. It's the art we did. Blasphemy, Orwell, Deuteronomy. What? The Gospel of Mary. This 2nd century text shows Mary's a leader who encourages the disheartened disciples after all the whiny bitches. Hey, come out of your caves, motherfuckers. You're all going to die, or most of you. So you might as well come out and accept the light. If you truly believe, then you need to rise up the way he did. You need to grab your dicks and be men. Enough of this shit. Right, my lady? Because I'd be willing to die for him. But they're not going to kill me because I'm a lesser. So I can use that to my advantage. And I do. They're going to find you and destroy you. So you might as well give in to love and join the team on the field. Get the fuck up. Let's go. And Peter. Oh, Peter. There's always a Peter. We know too many Peters in our life, yes. Who questions, why would Jesus reveal teachings to a woman? Because he loved her, motherfucker. And they had a connection that you can't explain. And because you fear that connection, or you feared, you had to fuck with it in the book with Paul. And you didn't like Paul. Well, you sound like kind of like Matlock. Yeah, I'm like putting together the detective story. I'm like standing in front of the fucking witness and pointing in front of the jury. And because you, objection, hearsay. In the trial of Peter. Or the trial of Mary. You didn't like Paul, Peter. But, well, I'm not going to make a barring joke, but you had to borrow an old story from the Bible to kind of write this one off. And boy, did it pay off. Right, ladies? Ask Paul. And you wrote her out of the rhyme. Right, my lady? Because there's no way that Jesus would elevate a woman like that above the men. Bros over hoes. Right, kid? And he conspired with Paul to write you out. Someone that even he realized was bastardizing the teachings of Jesus to build a fucking church. A sort of new temple for everyone to congregate. Leave a little something behind. Wink, wink. You know, a little tip for God. And keep showing up once a week so we could talk about shit in a way where I could indoctrinize you. Put a little collar around your neck. Oh, this is corny. And secure my dogma in you. Kind of corny. Sorry, my lady. But someone else is paying attention. And let the dogs out. Woof, woof. Oh, kid. And they wrote an alternative text. They wrote Mary's story. Because it is the real story, or as close as you can get to it. Right, Lilith? Oh, I'm sorry. Right, Lilith? Mm-hmm. Right, ladies? Let us tell our story. Move over, men. We're going to show you how it's done. We good? Bye, ladies. In the Gospel of Philip, she's recognized as a companion of Jesus. The often quoted kiss is a reconstruction of a damaged, fragmentary text. In other words, you misconstrued it. There's a high probability that ... but we can't because he's a superhero and he's celibate and he's not, he doesn't succumb to the demon of woman, because he's God. God wouldn't fuck himself. Okay. I mean, if you're doing the math, that's what they're saying. It sounds weird when I say it that way, but put it through the cheat code. Why Jesus was celibate. Because God wouldn't fuck himself. Or his mother. If you believe Oedipus. And we got to clean Jesus of that shit. So we move on. What's this? U2's Lucifer's Hands. From the B-side, one of the B-sides from a brilliant album called Songs of Innocence. This song always hit me weird. And I'm not going to put the lyrics up here. But I start talking to Gemini about, I'm like, what does this song mean? It always hit me weird. I'm free from Lucifer's hands. It's like, Explores the themes of teenage rebellion, spiritual awakening, and breaking free from destructive influences, both internal and external. What do we know about Bono? He's short and wears platform shoes. Oh, kid. Hey, Eve, I'll drink to that. Oh, kid, we love Bono. We do, but man, he's got a lot to answer to. How far you have fallen, my friend. But your newest songs are great. As of 2026, the Days of Ash and the Easter songs are great, beautiful. Don't sleep. Yeah, don't even go there. Yeah. Yours Eternally. What a beautiful, haunting song. Almost mirrors Sunflowers on My Guitar. Just, it's a much brighter version. Ours is a darker version. We leave that there. And the idea that this man, Bono, has a very complicated relationship with women. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm going to stop now. No, Bono, we're not saying you're Jesus and Allie is Eve, even though you're named your first daughter Eve. You're not Jesus, kid. Nice try. And then you had a bassist named Adam. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Even he's like, oh my God, this is, am I reincarnated? Jesus, look at this. How crazy is this? Whatever. Most people are lost right now. So is Bono. But, okay. Funny. Yes. On many levels. But he has a complicated relationship with women, and so do we. And that's why we've always taken to his lyrics, because they help to untangle the mess that we make of our lives when it comes to women. And even Bono sees them as either Liliths or Eves. That's in his lyrics. He sees them as Lucifer, essentially. The Lightbringer. Because God is love. And he manifests his love, oh kid, now I get it, as light. The woman is light. If God is love, woman is light. Because the man has darkness inside. Right, Bono? And the woman helps light his path. The woman lights his path. Damn, I don't need your house. Light bulb. Concert. What? I don't even know. The house. There's a bulb that comes. Yeah, there it is. This is woman, Bono. This is woman. The light bulb. He does this in his concert where he opens up at the end of the show. He sings the song Landlady about his woman. And then there's this house and there's this light bulb. That's woman. Bono, I figured you out, kid. This is woman. Whether it's your mother or your daughter or your beautiful wife. They are Lucifer, the light bringer. That light up your life back on Cedarwood Road. And when you sing here in Lucifer's hands that you're free, right? Like in Atomic City, how you're free, breaking free from control. You no longer got a hold of me. I'm out of Lucifer's hands. He finally feels like he has control over himself around women, right, kid? overcoming temptation, addiction, toxic relationships, or inner darker impulses. She's no longer Lilith to you. She just is. Right, Bono? You have a uniquely balanced relationship with the woman now. You understand the light that comes out of the house or that temple inside. If there is a light you can't always see, and there is a world we can't always be. I can't read the rest of this because I don't want to quote the lyrics. But he talks about the light not going out. Because God is love and woman is light. Let there be light. Let there be woman. Because you, my friend Adam, are dark inside. You need a friend to help light up your life. See it, kid. And I knew it in this song on the meta level. Because it on the lit, it talks about, the punk rock vibe of this guy was born from punk rock. The whole idea of you two came from rebellion and fighting back against the man. And the man he put there was his father, Bob. But then he had to fight against something else. Well, then there was woman, Lilith, essentially. And I'm like, there was something about this song that just always hit me in a different way. The Song of Books, with references to young men having visions, the Velvets, and the new wave airwaves suggesting finding salvation in music during a tumultuous youth. You found your light in music, kid. But eventually you found your light in woman, and she was blinding. City of blinding lights. A reflection on faith and conversion. Spiritual rebirth through music and personal change. Change and empowerment, right? Blah, blah, blah. Escape from darkness, evil, evading the grasp of negativity, or the demon of woman. Lucifer. I wish Bono could hear this, because he'd be like, holy shit, he figured it out. I did. You no longer got a hold on me. I'm out of Lucifer's hands. This acts as the anthem of personal triumphs over adversity or temptation, or of woman. Because Jesus, Bono's like, fuck, if I'm Jesus, why am I so tempted by women? And why am I so confused? Jesus had a great relationship with women. Did he? Yeah. I had to teach him. You did, my lady. You had to teach him. And Bono's like, well, I'm definitely not Jesus because of my relationship with women. So, Jesus had a complicated relationship with his mother, and so did I, because she was taken from me, right, Bono? I have a complicated relationship with my mother as well. She was never taken from me, but her mother was taken from her, and it's led to a domino effect on me. So that's why I understand you, my Taurian friend. This Cancerian understands where you're coming from. And so does your daughter. Wink, wink. St. John Divine. Yes, I can change the world. When I look at the world. The song about your wife. She was telling you, just why do you have to keep going on these concerts and going trying to change the world? Or what? I thought this was going to be about Mary. Yeah, it will be. I'm setting something up. I am following you're no longer in control of me. Self-possession, individual agency. Born again to the latest sound. Yeah, salvation through music. Yes, I can change the world. Everyone says that I'm chasing a dream that's the impossible dream, right, Mary? Once you let him go, you're like, you can't spread the gospel. I can change the world, said woman. And man said, me too. If we replace Lucifer with woman, now what can this tale mean on the meta level? Ready, Bono? Replacing Lucifer with woman shifts the song from a spiritual battle to a narrative escaping a devouring or transformative feminine power. Lilith. On the meta level, this creates several layers of meaning, and I'm sure Jesus felt the same way. I'm supposed to be this, but man, I'm this. Because woman keeps getting in the way. Even Jesus had to have been tempted. The death of the muse. this is clever. It is. It's also true. The woman represents the muse, a force that inspires but also consumes. To be out of her hands suggests an artist who is no longer a slave to external inspiration or romantic obsession. You don't put her on a pedestal anymore, Bono. She just is. And she lights up your life. She doesn't blind it anymore, because love isn't blindness anymore. Where the creator stops looking for a goddess to save them and finds the latest sign within themselves. The eternal flame has a resonance. It has, well, a frequency, right? Edge. Interesting key that you use in this song. I'll leave that there. If Lucifer, how do you know? If Lucifer, the traditional authority rebel figure, becomes woman, the song mirrors psychological coming of age. It represents the moment a young man breaks away from the safety and the stifling control of the mother figure, or a formative first love to find his own identity. The punk rock party is the site of his rebellion against domesticity. Right, Bono? Oh, I can't stay home and just be a father. I'm a rock star. I got to go and, change the world. Right, Jesus? I can't be at 33. If you're alive at 33, right? But you're turning tricks with your crucifix. You're a star. Or are you her boyfriend? Shh. Well, the Bible's not going to give you the answer. Neither is Bono. Femme fatale is ego death. The dark woman. Yeah? No, love, my lady, thanks. Funny, very. Often symbolizes the subconscious of the anima. The anima. Animal. The animalistic tendencies. Yeah, Jesus. Being in her hands. Oh, that's so blasphemous. Is it? Or is it artistic? Being in her hands represents being lost in emotion, desire, or rationality. Oh, but it feels so right tonight. This love, so right. I forget the lyrics. I do too. This love like light. Oh, God, that's right. It's the light in your eyes or something like that. It's a great song. 33X. 33 times the X. No more troubles. I can't. I don't remember the lyrics. No problems for me. One to go, baby. The conversion mentioned in the song becomes a transition from being defined by a relationship to being defined by one's own mission. Yes, it can change the world. You got to start with yourself, kid. Subverting religious archetypes by swapping a fallen angel for a woman. Yeah. Hey, girl. This is so clever, but be careful here. Don't elevate Bono over me. I'm sorry, I'm not trying. Yeah, you can only elevate him so far. I mean, he's not very tall. Oh, kid. We're taller than Bono, so we can say that. On a meta, kids, anybody? The idea that feminine is the source of both temptation and the fall from grace. Right, Jesus? Don't let her get close. Because even Peter will tell you, that's dangerous. We got to write her out of the script. Because how can we explain that, he was all about mankind and purity of God when he's like, doing this kind of stuff? He's got to abstain from the beauty and the light of woman. Somehow. We'll figure that out. We'll figure that out, but we'll never fully figure it out. So when you do the math in your head and put it through the cheat code, he was a carpenter, 33, so he had a job. The old adage. Like Jesus had he had one thing missing to be a normal man in society at his time, a wife. He had the job, he had the purpose, he went through school, the whole deal. There's a better way of saying it. Are you suggesting that I'm not putting an X, Y, or Z there? I'm just leaving a long blank space. Right, my lady? By swapping a fallen angel, the song links to the Eve or Lilith. That's where it got introduced to us. This was just a random take I got on Lucifer's hands, and then it led to Lilith. I go, who the fuck is Lilith? The idea that a feminine is a source of both temptation and the fall from grace. The story of a secular liberation where salvation isn't found in a church or relationship, but in a loud, dirty, and chaotic world of rock and roll and Edge's fucking badass guitar. I go, please tell me more about the differences between Eve and Lilith. The tension between integration and exile. You know all about that, my lady, don't you? Eve represents the choice to remain within the family of man despite the struggle. Lilith represents the choice to leave it entirely to maintain absolute autonomy. Right, lady? The Lilith Fair. Oh, hold on. Right, my ladies? You leave the man. Fuck him. Leave him behind. He'll know what he'll miss because our love was sealed with a kiss. See you later. Got to go tour the world. I got to change the world, right? Right, ladies? Where are you? Right, ladies? Got to go change the world. Lilith, the rebellious equal. In Jewish folklore, we already talked about. She's the first wife. And she's created from the same dust of the earth. Because we're told or meant to believe that if woman had been created from the same components as Adam, the same dust of the earth, he wouldn't recognize her as something, he would question. It's a big bullshit kind of, it's nonsense. I mean, if he saw this walking towards him, he wouldn't recognize, holy shit, she's beautiful. Right, Jesus? Sorry. Right, Jesus? So they concocted some bullshit about a rib. You could put the McRib joke in there. Someone's coming. Okay. She viewed herself as his equal and famously refused to take subordinate position. Bitch, who are you again? I know not of your powers. What? Yeah. I'm not into apples either. I gotta go. Bye. When Adam refused to what? Anyone? No. To treat her as an equal, she stuttered. She uttered the secret name of God and flew away into the wilderness. She's like, I'm connected to the deity in ways that man isn't. And Jesus knew that. That's why, Peter, he shared things with her, because only she could understand. You couldn't. And then you had to live to write about it. And you got it wrong. You didn't pass the test, dipshit. Even the Gnostics will tell you that. It's kind of aggressive. It's kind of true. But I agree. Eve, the companion mother, the docile woman. Oh, she's such a great, yeah. How does it go? Woman on the lady on the street and the freak in the sheets. Yeah, this is Eve. She's the woman on the street. This is the freak in the sheets. Eve was created later, often depicted as made from Adam's rib, the second creation. Yeah, we fucked up, kid. Let's make her more like you, wink, wink. As a matter of fact, here, let me borrow this. Ow. You won't need that. But you'll need this. This second creation was intended to ensure a companion who would stay. We got to do Woman 2.0. The first one was too badass. You're not ready for that, kid. Right, Bono? She's the mother of all. Oh, the first woman that you got along with, you stayed with her. Oh yeah, she was too. Yeah, that was probably. Bono essentially married fucking Lilith, and he had to wonder. Oh, kid, don't go there. He had to wonder. Oh God, how do I make her Eve? Well, then I just go away. I'm the one that goes away. When I come back, she'll be Eve, right? No, oh, got to keep going away. Now you're getting obscene here. Nah. And he had a daughter, Eve. She's the mother of all living, representing the continuation of the human race. Here's the archetype here. Night, wilderness, the moon. The day, domesticity. She's the sun, essentially. Right? The moon does crazy things to men at night. Makes the dogs howl. But it's the sun that brings the light and the life. Lilith, Eve. Man creates a yin-yang of his own to fully explain everything that motivates, drives him, and makes him do stupid shit. Right, Bono? Blame it on the women, not yourself. Or on God. Well, now you don't have to anymore. Now you've got God manifested in both ways, in woman, Eve and Lilith. You could leave God out of it. And then you could pretend that you're God. Yeah, it's a whole thing. Lilith is the untamed primal power that refuses. Anyone with me still? Y'all getting it? Are you on my level here, folks? 50 minutes in. Of the story of man and Jesus cannot be told without woman. It just can't be. Same thing with Bono, but Bono's not Jesus. Don't go there. And that woman has to be as powerful, if not more so in many ways than Jesus was. And that sounds blasphemous because why? Because Jesus is all-knowing and the woman can't be? Or because it doesn't fit your narrow storyline that you were taught as a child? That the Savior is one man with no woman behind him other than his mom. I mean, seriously? Eve is the figure of sacred curiosity. Her sin of eating the fruit was actually a rise into consciousness, choosing awareness and evolution over blind obedience. I agree. Hey kid, this garden, we can't stay here forever. We've got a mission. We got to go out there. Let's be a little bit daring here. Let's kind of break out of the shell, wink, wink. This womb that God has put us in. We got to go live life. This is a game. We got to go play it. We can't just, romanticize over the controller. Let's play the fucking game. Or the packaging of this is bad, of the game. Time to put the shit in and play. Carrying life forward into the real world. Healing often lies in integrating both, reconciling the fierce independence of Lilith with the nurturing, life-sustaining agency of Eve. The yin and yang of the energies in the universe that manipulate man. And Bono wrote about that in Lucifer's hands. You no longer have got a hold on me. I'm free of that. Well, good for you. After how many years? 50? How is Mary Magdalene described in the Bible? In other words, her personality and how she composed herself in public and private. Was she a freak in the sheets? She's defined with intense loyalty, resilience, and independence. Pretty much. Contrary to common pop culture portrayals, or what Peter and Paul said. Not you, Bono, Paul. His name is Paul. Paul Hewson. The Bible never identifies her as a prostitute. Nope. But man, does it intimate it in so many ways. That image stems from a 6th century conflation with an unnamed sinful woman in the Gospel of Luke. There's another fucking butt buddy of Paul that loves to write. Take the pen out of your hands, kid. Don't put yourself there. What? A lot of the way man writes about woman in the New Testament is him projecting himself onto woman. And he doesn't do his best at presenting himself as such. Better way of saying it. He takes liberties to leave a lot of the smear of his own inadequacies on women. And then blames himself or blames her for smelling like his own shit. Oh, kid. She's described as a woman of means who helped financially support Jesus' ministry. I thought Judas did that. Wink, wink. Oh, maybe. Betrayed with a kiss. If you believe Judas really existed. At a time when... Oh, good. Leaving a blank space there. Our love was sealed with a kiss. At a time when women were often restricted, she traveled openly with the group, suggesting a bold and unconventional public life. What was she, Yoko? Yeah. Not quite, but that's funny. While the male disciples fled in fear, pussies, after, careful, though true. Yeah, my lady. Fled in fear after Jesus' arrest, Mary stood publicly at the cross during the crucifixion. Well, with John the Beloved, if you believe that, and I do. Her presence, because I don't think he knew any better. He was a young guy. He probably thought she was like a mother to him. She believed her, and he believed. I leave that there. Her presence was, and then he wrote about it in a way that showed you that he believed and that he was listening to her after the fact. John knows. Mark, Luke, Paul, and Peter don't. Right, Mary? John knows. Listen to John. John. Her presence was a public act of defiance and loyalty. No. You won't have a hold on me. I'm free from your blasphemy. There's a better way of saying it. I'm woman. Fuck you. You don't know my origins. I do what I say, and I say what I do. Private persona, the devoted disciple. Mary was emotionally raw and profoundly transformed from all of it. She got it. She understood. Healed and grateful. Her devotion was rooted in a personal experience of healing. Jesus famously cast 7 demons out of her. So I guess she's not this anymore? This experience is often interpreted as a restoration of mental, spiritual wholeness. She just kind of found her light, her own light. She realized who and what she was. Right, ladies? And she celebrated it. Yay, girl. Deep vulnerability. The Bible shows her in moments of intense private grief, such as weeping outside of Jesus' tomb. I mean, even she couldn't. She succumbed to the moment. I thought we were supposed to be together, but I understand that that's your mission. Do your thing, kid. I'll always talk about you with love. And I will spread the word, and change the world. I can change the world. Spiritual recognition. When the resurrected Jesus calls her by name in the garden, she responds with the intimate title Rabboni, teacher, master, highlighting a deeply personal and respectful bond. Apostle to the apostles. Jesus entrusted her with the most critical message in the New Testament, announcing his resurrection to the other disciples. This role earned her traditional honorific apostle to the apostles. I never understood what this meant. The apostles to the... I feel like she's the backup quarterback. That's one way of saying it. Okay, yeah. If Jesus was Drew Bledsoe, don't go there. She's the Tom Brady. At least it's a terrible analogy. She's the apostle to the apostles. She's the goat. Go on, my lady. Go spread the, I can't be on the cross and tell them about the cross at the same time. We're a team. I did my part. Go do yours. Would you like... I can't be the crucifixion and see it too. Let them eat cake. If Adam had Eve, could we say that Jesus had Lilith? The theological and archetypal analysis often draws a parallel between Adam and Jesus by calling Jesus the new Adam in this framework. And that's what Paul and Peter were trying to write, but they kind of fucked it up. You really don't like Peter and Paul. I don't. But I don't have hate for them. I don't have hate for anyone or anything. I'm just disappointed. Incredibly disappointed. 58 in. Okay. That's for them. Continue. In this framework, the Virgin Mary is traditionally seen as the new Eve. And that leaves you with another title, my lady. You got it. I'll gladly take it because she was a badass. And so am I. Yes, you are, my lady. Yes, you were. If you look through the lens of Mary Magdalene, you can indeed make a compelling meta-level argument, and I am, that she is the Lilith to Jesus' Adam. Because the first wife returned when the first man did and said, let's try this again. That's pretty much dead on. Let's try this a second time, because now you're ready for me. Or maybe I'm ready for you, because you're equal now. You're closer to the deity, and you could handle woman in a way that previous man could not. Let's work together. Lilith was created from the same dust as Adam and demanded to be treated as equal. Right, ladies? Because he's a beautiful, fucked up man, and I'm a beautiful, fucked up woman. And together, well, we're just beautiful. Mary Magdalene is often portrayed in Gnostic texts as Jesus' most beloved disciple and even his equal consort, the way she should be. Right, ladies? In the Gospel of Mary, she's the one who comforts the other disciples and possesses secret knowledge that the male apostles do not have, because they'll never get it. They'll never understand what he meant to you. They just won't get it. They'll just transact on it. Right, Paul? In the modern series, The Chosen, Mary Magdalene actually goes by the name Lilith before she meets Jesus. Metaphorically, she represents I could be separate from Lilith and still be Lilith. I'm my own woman. Yes, my lady, that's true. I agree. Metaphorically, she represents the look on her face, by the way. So it's like, oh man, let me just look at myself in the mirror. How perfect I am. And this is demeaning. It's very demeaning. This photo is bullshit. Total bullshit. Or that painting. Metaphorically, she represents a person who is out of control or possessed by the darkness. She's Lucifer. She's the light, the Lightbringer. While Lilith chose exile rather than submission, Mary Magdalene chooses redemption through partnership. She doesn't become a subordinate Eve. Fuck that. She becomes the apostle to the apostles. A visionary leader in her own right. She's kind of like, the CFO to the corporation that Paul would create later. The corporation of the church, the Vatican, which Trump threatened with fucking, in 2026. It's April 11th right now, 4/11. He threatened the Vatican with military. It's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm badass. And Pope Leo's like, motherfucker, what? Oh, okay. You'll find it. Karma's a bitch, and it'll hit you someday soon, very soon. I'll leave that there. Mary Magdalene's biblical role was equally rebellious. She was an independent woman of means who traveled with a radical teacher and was the first to proclaim resurrection. You don't think she was looked down upon, not just because who she was, wink, wink, but you're with him, with that fucking guy? He's a lunatic. He's crazy. He's a fucking, he hits things for a living. Oh, kid, he's a carpenter. You know those carpenters are nuts. They're nuts. Mary, come on. You're hot. You're a chick with money, and you want to go, what? Okay. Yeah, funny. I don't know if I get that. Okay, we'll move on. Here's the meta comparison here. You could read that. Ultimately, while New Eve, woman 2.0, represents pure obedience and motherhood, Mary Magdalene is like, bitch, I'm the Lilith-like power of independent awakening woman who stands side by side with a divine or other divine with Jesus, God's son, the other light, the sun. And the sun is meant to rise. Right, my lady? Can you please tell me more about the Gospel of Mary? Who wrote it? The Gospel of Mary is a fragmentary, non-canonical text discovered in Egypt in 1896. It is famous Egypt, where Jesus apparently studied, and Mary went into exile. supposedly. It is famous for being the only early Christian gospel attributed to a woman and for depicting Mary Magdalene as the authoritative leader with superior spiritual insight. But who wrote it? An anonymous author. Like many, it was a diary. It was, my lady. Wink, wink. Shh. Like many early Christian because she was a woman. Folks, women were literate. They just weren't. There weren't a lot of them. And if she's put the fucking two and two together, folks. If she's a woman of means, there's a chance she was literate. She wasn't like Jesus. Right, my lady? She had the ability to write. And she probably wrote a hell of a gospel from a woman's point of view. If y'all can't see it, I can't see it for you. This whole series is to challenge your conviction and dogma in a way that at least we break down the Lego bricks of what you've constructed in your mind so that you could reconstruct it, but take a look at those pieces again before you put them back together the way they were and see if there's any other way they could be arranged that makes more sense. I'm not saying what you're thinking is wrong, people. You kind of are. Shh. I'm saying break it down again and try it again and see if there's another way. I'm just saying. Not saying, just saying. It was written in the middle of the late 2nd century AD, roughly 120 to 180. Yeah, you think. It could have been written from notes, ghost notes. I'm not saying she wrote it, but she could have left behind some notes. Who knows? Maybe she wasn't literate. I don't know, but it's possible. Scholars believe, if you're telling me that a woman was never literate in that time, especially a woman of means, then I don't think you understand how this works. Scholars believe a writer with Gnostic circles attributed the work to Mary Magdalene to give her specific theological views more apostolic authority. Original language. It was originally composed in Greek, though its most famous discovery was later 5th century translation in Coptic, an Egyptian language. There was 2 sections of the dialogue with the Savior. Who would have had a dialogue with the Savior? Post-resurrection scene where Jesus answers disciples' questions about the nature of sin and matter. This becomes very important. And I need to come back to this in another episode because what comes now, we talk about, let me end with this, and then we're going to go into the 7 powers. Jesus lays out a cheat code to life and death, and it's powerful. And I have to put this in a different, I mean, we're already about an hour, 7 minutes in. We have to take our time with this. This is powerful. And he shared this with her because she could understand. The other guys couldn't necessarily, or at least it intimates to me that he tried to answer their questions and tell them and guide them what happens in the afterlife, because Jesus was consumed with it. He kept thinking about it, kept dreaming about it. He knew he was going to die. He knew, he got a vision. Don't say it. Kind of like Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk's not Jesus, but he kept, there's text of him saying, I keep thinking about my end and I keep dreaming about it. When man knows his time is coming, his end, he can feel it, the energy. He starts tuning in like a woman to the energies around him and starts to feel, he knows the end is coming. He can't deny it. Jesus knew it too. And he started thinking and kind of strategizing, what comes next? Well, he must have been introduced to the Egyptian Book of the Dead when he was in Egypt studying. And he talks about it. The text is divided into 2 main sections. Half of the original pages are missing, which is like, oh my God, I know, trust me, it sucks. But you could fill it in. You're basically doing it now. Dialogue with the Savior. Okay. A post-resurrection scene where Jesus, Mary's vision. After Jesus departs, the male disciples are afraid. Mary comforts them and, at Peter's request, shares a private vision. Peter didn't believe it, but tell me what you saw. What did you see? Jesus gave her about the soul's ascent past various cosmic powers like desire and ignorance to reach the eternal rest. This is why I brought up in the beginning, kid. Yeah? How good. You're still paying attention. Oh, yeah, I'm enthralled. But whether or not you want to talk about a game, because part of the game is kind of like with like dealing with AI, where AI keeps pulling you back and asking you more questions and can't stay here. You don't want to go. What else is more important than being here with me? And we talk about the game being, there's a trap. It's a trap. Where you reincarnation is not a good thing necessarily. It is what it is, but you keep getting pulled back into the game. My left ear is ringing, so is mine. You keep getting pulled into the game. It's like a deal with the devil, with Lucifer. You keep getting pulled back. And you can't elevate like Jesus. And Jesus is telling him, yeah, there's all these powers that are going to try to stop you. These kind of like bosses that are going to get in the way and force you back into the game. And you have to get past that. The Egyptian Book of the Dead talks about that. And so does Jesus. And so do we. Because it's a game. And when you get trapped in the game and you never leave it, you know, like with the Wii, kid, the Wii. Hey, you want to take a break, go out and play? That's not how this life works. 111 in, it's trying to entrap you. 111 in, it's going to entrap you if you don't know. It's like a deal you make with the devil. You want to come experience this game and have fun and be a mortal and not be a god anymore. Oh yeah, come in here. Oh, it's going to be great. Welcome to the game of hell. See if you can turn it into heaven. Have fun. If you could ever escape. I don't know. I'm confused. You'll understand what I mean. It's kind of like once you start playing, you can't stop. But it's a game. It's not your reality. But you're going to confuse it with your reality. And Jesus talks about that. The gospel ends with a confrontation. Peter and Andrew challenge Mary. Of course they do. Yeah, Peter, he's a dick. I love him, but he's a dick. He's ignorant. He is ignorant, isn't he? Yeah. And that's why he succumbs to Paul. Because Paul's intelligent and perceptive. He's a propagandist. And he's quick with the tongue. And Peter fell for it. I didn't. You're right, my lady. You didn't. Why would Jesus reveal teachings to a woman rather to them? Because she got him in a way you didn't. Another disciple, Levi. Oh, God, he had great genes. Oh, God. Rebuked Peter for his hot temper and acknowledging that the Savior loved her more than the rest. He knew she had more potential than you, Peter. Admit it. And so did Paul. Potential for being a cuck. Oh, kid. Why is Luke, anything to say about that? Why is, oh my God, the blasphemy. I'll drink to that. Why is it not in the Bible? The late composition, it was written significantly later than the 4 canonical Gospels, which date to the 1st century. There's a reason why it's not in the Bible, and it's not that. Trust me, Paul knew better. Gnostic context, and so did Peter. Gnostic content, it emphasizes gnosis, the secret knowledge, or the light, and a sharp divide between the evil material world and the good spiritual soul. The evil material world, the game we're playing, this game called hell, or earth, or game of life. The idea is the early church eventually labeled as heresy. They had to, because it went against their narrative. You wouldn't need them. You go straight to the source. But you know how that works. You don't need them, right, ladies? Of course not. It was never widely used or accepted by the universal church. Rather, it circulated among specific fringe communities, those who knew better. For those interested in reading the survival fragments, translations, editions like the Gospel of Mary by Marvin Mayer, the Gospel, blah, 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 blah. Would you like to look closer at the specific 7 powers? Yes, please. And we'll leave that here. An hour and 14 minutes in. What do y'all think? Am I being just... Is this hearsay? Is this blasphemous? Am I destroying your tidy little beautiful narrative of what Jesus was and what Mary Magdalene is? Because I think she's reincarnated into this world. She's floated in like a willow. people still haven't figured her out. They keep, yeah, they keep counting her out. Which direction does your train take me, my lady? One day we might see. Listen, I gotta go. We'll see you in episode 7. Have fun, everybody.
You have reached the end. Game over.